Wonder what they choose to run with this Beastmaster though as well. I like the Morph Band too. Obviously really good against the Ember Spirit. It's one of the heroes that Morph loves to play against and to turn into.
Did you see who chose first pick and second pick and who chose Radiant or Dire, by the way?
I didn't. Okay. I would have assumed that Winstrike chose Radiant and then NaVi chose second pick.
Yeah, they have been doing that a lot recently, haven't they?
Oh, wow.
That is an early Storm, but Kuman, he is an absolute fan of Storm Spirit, but you'd have thought into an Enigma and a Disruptor it might not be that appealing, but apparently this guy doesn't care about them stances.
I mean, it depends how you look at it, right? If you're looking at it like, oh my god, what have they got to lock me down? Yeah, like Black Hole and Static, but Storm also works the other way, that it allows you to jump these squishy like supports in the backlines first. So if he can just jump in, kill off the Disruptor while the Oracle pops, like is sitting behind him with a possible save potential, it's not really that bad for the Storm Spirit. It is a very early pick though, like you say. I'm not sure whether NaVi were ready for this. What are they? I would like to see something like a Night Stalker pick here for Blizzy, and just like have some kind of vision control for yourself up against the Beastmaster. Put the Enigma as the 4, just deny all the range creeps. You know, give him the Ring of Regen to help his laning stage. He should get a decent amount. Like a Pango.
Right. So this could still be the 4 position Pango. I would imagine it's mid versus Storm Spirit though. It has a decent enough matchup, although it's not like one of these heroes which absolutely destroys the Storm. And Winstrike now they've got a Storm Drow coming. That's what they were looking for there.
Yeah, this is worrisome.
I actually really like what they did there. So the reason they picked the Storm as their third pick is because they knew that if they picked Drow, then there's a possibility that they just put Magical on the Storm. He loves that hero as well. And they could have stolen the Storm to pick away and force him into picking something else. But instead they just took the Storm first, and they know that NaVi's just not going to pick Drow when they've got an Ember Spirit as one of their calls already picked up.
I don't agree with that. I feel like Magical was probably always going to be playing the Ember. But like we've seen his Ember do so much work in these games, but I feel like they pick the Drow once they see this Pango coming, that they know they can play some like early game tempo lineup with this Beastmaster as well. Like with this Pango gives decent wave clear, but it takes a little bit of time to get a couple of items online before it can really be a force. Like you really want the Greaves plus like Maelstrom or something, right? And until those Greaves comes out, this guy's really going to struggle against the Gust of the Drow Ranger as well.
5 seconds remaining.
I wonder what... How do you finish off this Winstrike lineup, right? You have this... I feel like you need some kind of jump here, like lockdown, because this Beastmaster's nice, but you've only got Raw at the moment, and jump's nice on the Storm, but you don't really want him committing first in the fight. You want somebody to jump the front lines, like a Sand King or something. I know it's banned, but... And then the Storm jumps the back lines at the same time. I don't know what they would pick, though, that lanes with the Beastmaster. I mean, they could pick, like... If they want to be crazy, they could pick, like, puck position 4, especially with the Drow Ranger. You know, you can cancel the Rolling Thunder really easily with it as well. It's really good at cancelling Black Hole from distance. But I don't really know what Lil would fancy here.
Yes, it's definitely not a mag game. We can safely say that with the Storm and the Drow. So.
Unless they want like a little more team fight from their pos 4, like an Earth Spirit or something might be okay.
Yeah, Spirit could be an option. Well, they're going straight in for it, and it's going to be the Silencer 4 position.
Okay. Oh, and they're going out. Wow.
Oh, okay. NaVi, they just want to hit their timings. They say, this Drow and this Storm, it's too greedy. We are going to be able to punish this with a magical Alchemist. And
I mean, the best thing about this Alch pick is that you're playing against Oracle Silencer as the 2 supports. Like, they're not great at rotating across the map. They're not mobile heroes like the Sand King and the Earth Spirit can be. So getting into this Alchemist jungle might be a little bit difficult early on. And it's actually, it's Crystallized playing the Ember then. Okay. Not something we usually see from NaVi. I feel this feels completely different to what they've been doing, though. I'm really surprised they've just completely changed up just for the final.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, Crystallized used to play Ember Spirit a decent amount when they had
10 seconds remaining.
Chill on the team, I mean, a while ago.
Yeah, but I know he can play it, but he's not been the one that's usually doing it, if that makes sense.
No,
like, he's usually the one playing the hard one, and then Magical's doing more of the space creating kind of stuff.
Yeah, but all the best teams can kind of switch up between these kind of mid and safe lane heroes, which, you pick it in the first place because it's flexible. If Crystallize is just flat out not going to play it, then it's not a flexible pick. So
yeah,
you need to make sure you're keeping these both of those players hot on the hero. But let's talk about this little silencer, though, because this is interesting. It's a hero we haven't seen a lot of recently. Every now and again he pops up his head, and it doesn't seem fantastic.
Yeah, with Drow, it might be a little bit better, though, especially with Max Glaives. We've been seeing Topson play the Silencer mid, especially in the laning stage, and in terms of harassment, this Silencer might just do a huge chunk of damage. And it's really good with this Storm as well. Like, before BKBs come out, the Storm is going to zip into the backline now and not really care, because the Global is going to come out at the same time. Like, CIS is going to really struggle to ever get a black hole off, and he doesn't really have this position 3 to play with when he gets this Helm of Dominator. Like, when you get this Helmet Dom, you really want like a Beastmaster or a Sand King, somebody that you can force lanes in with. You're playing with a Pango in the off lane. Like, this hero doesn't push towers that well.
Yeah. How quickly are they going to be attacking though? I mean, they're going to have the Helm of the Dominator. They've already got themselves the Drow aura, and they're going to have themselves the aura on the Beastmaster as well. These guys are going to be absolutely pounding you in these team fights.
Yeah, I feel like Na'Vi have to do decently in their laning stage. Like, this Alk has to have a good start. If he falls behind at all, the game's just over. Like,
yeah, it's hard to disagree. It's looking like a fairly good draft. Winstrike, I actually prefer the draft. Let's see if Na'Vi can play up against the odds. The one thing I would say is that they're a little bit light on the whole wave clear side of thing from Winstrike. I mean, obviously, once Storm can start zipping down waves, that's one thing, but until then they don't really have a lot to get rid of those creep waves. So the whole split pushing side of things, but then again, you've got a Drow, you've got the precision aura, who really cares? So,
but even if Na'Vi is split pushing, how do they take buildings fast? Like, they just don't at all.
Yeah, it is going to be slow from them for sure. They're going to need the Alchemist to be really large. He's taking a couple of hits here, and the big roots coming through, but they're cautious on going forwards. Silent attacking from the low ground. So Nako's actually the one who's getting turned upon. He's dropping really quick here. They're trying to get the first blood onto No Fear. Won't happen. Second kill is going to be No Fear's. First blood will be Seneko. And Lizzie has to run himself away. But look at the difference between first blood and second blood there. It's actually really close because... Oh, wow. So if you actually look here, the reason that Lizzie got 280 gold for killing No Fear is because he hasn't bought much. He's got the Ring of Regen gifted to him, and then only bought a Healing Salve, a Stout Shield, and a Tango, so he's significantly behind everybody else on net worth, which means he gets a ton of gold for killing... That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's...
I'm processing that still.
I mean, it's not... He's only like 100 gold or so, like, of not buying items.
Oh yeah, he had 350 gold in the... in his bank starting the game because the Ring of Regen got gifted to him.
Yeah, but normally you start with 6 tangos salve, no, 6 tangos, Stout Shield, 2 branches, and instead of the 2 branches, he's got a salve. So he must have had about 120 gold to start with.
Yeah, but he was probably the poorest hero in the game, and that's all that matters when it takes net worth into consideration about kills. His ranking, it's not actual percentage or anything like that. It's just what rank you are and how far ahead your team is, or behind, which they would have been behind in that situation. I don't know. It's just very interesting, like the way the maths and the sums work. Anyway, let's we've already had an action-packed start to this game. This whole series, in fact, it's NaVi versus Winstrike in the grand finals for the Star Ladder Minor Qualifiers. Winner of this game will be making it to Kiev. As we start things off in the top lane with a lot of harass being traded here. Lil doing a ton of damage with these glaives, but also taking a ton of damage in response as Seneko and Crystallize just know they need to get this guy out of this lane as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, over in the mid, it's Magical versus Kuman. And in the jungle, Zayat's already moving over to the other side of the map. Doesn't want to be too predictable with where he's farming. Has helped out Blizzy a little bit, but will continue to help out some of the lanes, I do believe. So Blizzy farms up on the Pango.
Yeah, I wonder what lane this Seneko was going to be denying creeps from. I assume he just did one from mid, but... Is he going to be full-time jungling or just denying creeps as well from the lanes? I feel like if you can deny any of the Storm's XP, it would be massive for Na'Vi. If you can get the lane pushing towards Magical just so he can farm under tower especially.
Magical just trying to see it the best he can, but it's actually first blood down in the bottom lane. Everybody's so low there, but it's Blizzy who's the first one to fall. Meanwhile, Kuman falling so quickly. Magical, though, can't quite find the kill as they turn back around. They're both going to die. No, Kuman's going to live. The hit is not enough to finish him off. Magical falls. Meanwhile, up at top, Lil on the run as well. Crystallize is trying to chase him down. He's getting the damage off 80 HP. He gets it with the Sleight of Fist, and Crystallize, though, he does refresh that Arcane Curse on himself. Snake has to come over and just force back Nograta. Crystallize will be okay. But right now, what an action-packed minute there. I mean, 30 seconds we had, just all the lanes having a kill on them. And Magical, the big one in the middle lane going down, but also big trades pretty much favoring Winstrike, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that was really well played from Kuman in the mid lane. I was watching the whole thing, and he was just sitting in the acid spray, tanking damage and kind of baiting the Alkin towards him all the time. And if you can get any kind of advantage, like we talked about in the mid lane against this Alk early on, you're going to be really happy with that. Magical again is
close in this league. He's dropping really, really low. Kuman this time Magical has the one, but the overpower hit will get the kill. Kuman has the damage.
I mean, this point in Electric Vortex makes like Storm so much better than it used to be because you don't get slowed or anything anymore.
Yeah. When
you use the Electric Vortex, so when you go this 1-1-3 point, yeah, he's just hit level 5. This Storm is so difficult to lane against.
I'm not sure. I mean, Magical has to walk back to the lane now, and he's. I mean, yes, he's got himself a bracer, but there's going to be so much damage coming out from Kuman with this. You can just fire Static Remnant, hit Electric Vortex, hit, then Static Remnant's going to be off cooldown again. It's just too much damage for an Alchemist to withstand, but we'll see how he does coming back into this one.
Yeah, and the biggest worry for Magical now is when the Storm hits 6, he has to be so careful.
Yeah.
Like, is he even going to be able to sit in the lane at that point?
He had a bit of damage forward on to Nograta. So Lil just backs him up, letting this clarity, just getting himself some mana. Wants to be hitting as many glaives as possible here, and Crystallize kind of zoned out of this lane for the time being. Silent in the bottom lane. He's having a fairly nice time as they try and spout this way, but NaVi not really feel too comfortable in this laning phase as Crystallize forced back by Lil and just taking so much damage here. It's actually Seneko who's the one who's going to fall down by the tower. Okay, so he just went for the suicide, but no fear was there to just grab the sneaky finishing blow and grab himself a kill.
Yeah, and this Drow is getting so much in bot lane as well. Like, she has 15 denies up against Blizzy's Pangolier. Like, normally, the Zayek's position for Enigma would just be denying creeps from the lane, but Blizzy's just having to sit down here by himself without really getting too much CS. Like, he's sitting on 8 at the moment. So, not good for him.
Alchemist in the middle lane. Electric Vortex comes out. Kuman, he's on top of him. He's got the level 6 now as well. It's another death for Magical. Well. The disaster. They're going on to Silent. They should find this one as he's going to get killed off by the Eidolons, but still. And also down in the jungle as well. There's just so much violence across every single lane. Seneko is also going to fall. That one goes to Lil. Crystallize farming himself up here. Nograta doesn't have any lockdown to throw at this Ember, so he can back himself away. I mean, surely the #1 winner out of all this these deaths happening around the place is the Silencer. Currently up to 6 Solid Intelligence. He's on in a minute.
I think the real winner's the Storm at the moment, to be honest. He's loving life in this mid lane.
He's absolutely born and having. With the amount of kills we'll have, we'll throw it over to an early net worth, and yeah, Storm well and truly on top. Silent close behind as well. This is looking pretty brutal as Silent's being run down, though. They're trying to get the kill. Swashbuckle forwards, and they will be able to kill off the Drow. That's 355 gold going to Blizzy.
I mean, I get proven wrong as well. I said when this Enigma gets Helmut Dom, he might struggle to link up with anybody, but that's 2 deaths in a row on the
lane. They're going for Crystallize. They've got him in the trees. A nice juke through the trees there by Crystallize, though. It's going to buy him a little bit more time, and then he dodges out the glaive as well. A second one comes, but he pops himself the wand. Starting alive for a very long time. Even a South coming out, but now Lil can start to get off the damage. They'll glimpse back Nograta, but Lil is the killer. Crystallize into the trees. Nearly messes it up, but juking himself around. One more hit will be needed from Lil, but he's not going to find it with Magical coming in. No, he does find it. He gets the kill, and it was all worth it in the end. Oh my god, Lil. He nearly dies. But then, I don't even know how he got vision there. But it just came to him at the last minute.
Unfortunately, because he died first, so he doesn't get the int from the kill. So that's a little bit sad, but who cares? You know, you still kill off the Ember, which is the most important thing. And yeah, Winstrike need to defend this bot lane here. Lil's TP'd bot. I don't really know if he's going to be able to achieve too much, but they need to just keep this tower alive as long as possible. Nobody stacked any Ancients on the Radiant
Going
side.
in pretty hard on Facades, and with the backup of Kuman, it's going to be an easy kill. Units are here, but Kuman's going to clear all of these up. He needs to clear all of these up. He gets Mr. Tomato Man, and yep, now they're going to disappear though. Blizzy tries to come in for the sneaky snipe onto Lil, but does miss. A costly miss at that. At least Alchemist has a bit of space in the mid lane, and they've got a bit of space up top as well. Crystallize can start pushing on this Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Magical's managed to get a little bit of space here, but he's still like 1,000 gold behind this Storm. That kind of tells you just about how badly this lane went for him.
So what's he got? Is this his Soul Ring coming out to him? No, it's just his Power Treads on Magical coming out. So he's got this small camp stacked up for himself. This is a very efficient way to farm as an Alchemist, obviously. All these little creeps giving you extra gold. Very nice. Mud Golems as well, also going to help out.
It's really important he just jungles for the next few minutes here. Like, yes. I think Winstrike have to try and make something happen here. Like, if they smoke up with when the Silencer gets level 6, and they just smoke up with the Beastmaster and try and find him. The Alk's the biggest kill on the map by quite some distance at this point. You could even go in with Drow instead, to be honest.
Na'Vi for a while were... If this laning phase went equal, they would have been absolutely fine in terms of just, Silencer on top of Crystallize once again with Non-Grata coming through with the Primal War. They do have enough damage. Raw? Yeah. And they're going to start to put some pressure on this tower. By the way, a tower with 100 HP getting pressurized.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, there you go. Just get the Fortify off on 18 HP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, Non-Grata doesn't get the last hit, so worth, right?
True. It's slightly bothersome. A little bit rustling.
I like that Magical's skipping Soul Ring this game as well. Like, if you don't have a good start on this Alk, you need to just make sure you get this Radiance as soon as you can.
Yeah, abuse the Shrine, abuse everything.
Kuman farms so quickly with this Precision Aura as well. Storm loves this attack speed. I mean, normally this hero has attack speed issues, but with the Treads now and the Drow attack speed coming through, he can pretty much pick off anybody, I think, at this point, especially when he gets that Kaya online.
Another interesting point about this matchup as well is that the last time Crystallize actually played Ember was versus Empire. In the Epicenter qualifiers, which they did win that game, so pretty confident. The fight breaks out, they're going onto the Beastmaster here. Beastmaster dropping really low, there's nobody here to come and save him, so Non-Grata will just try and make as much space as he can, walking himself through the trees. A couple of right clicks coming out, but the Swashbuckle will find the kill.
Kuman's just going to try and secure these bounty runes down here to stop the Alk grabbing them, and if the Oracle can grab this third up here, yeah, unfortunately, Magical only going to be able to receive one bounty rune bonus.
Yeah, that always feels super rough when you've got these 3 points in Greevil's Greed. Interesting they didn't max intros to go for the extra points in Acid Spray, but I think when he realizes he's got to go back to the jungle, then it's going to become more important to level up the Acid Spray to be more efficient.
He might even go for the 4th point before he puts the 4th point in Greevil's as well. I'm not sure how he wants to skill up here, but
yeah, I'm sure
like you say, if you're going to jungle a lot, then
some pretty heavy maths behind it.
And now look at this push potential coming through from Winstrike here. They've got the Vlads on the Beastmaster.
Na'Vi forced to respond. They're going to smoke up and try and head into this one, which makes the Hawk a little bit useless. Run themselves forwards. The moment the smoke gets popped, they will know about it.
Yes, Seneko is level 6 as well on this
Absolutely
disruptor.
Everything here. They're kind of baiting forwards with Magical. I think they realize that Magical's probably not going to be here by himself if he's running forwards like this.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Here comes the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, coming in from behind. This is unexpected, and they've got the Silencer locked down, the stun out, and the silence onto him, but they're trying to keep him alive with the false promise, so we'll be able to get that global silence off afterwards. Might still die to the damage, but who really cares? Pangolin trying to get himself away. It's not going to happen, and Kuman's into the backlines, killing off Zayat. Sneko going down as well. It's a complete cleanup. 3 heroes dead on the side of Na'Vi. They did take down that Silencer, but unfortunately they lose 3 heroes in response, and that's just Winstrike feeling so much more powerful right now.
Yeah, these 2 cores can't fight at the moment on Na'Vi. They need to just carry on farming. Alchemist is getting close to his relic, so he's doing a decent job. But again, this Ember has struggled a little bit in the laning phase as well. Like, he's at the same net worth as the Pango at the moment. So he really needs like 1, maybe even 2 items before he can kind of really join these fights. And he has to go Yules first, which is so sad when you're playing Ember. Really need that purge up against the global when the silence is coming through.
Yeah. They've just realized that there's absolutely no way that they stop the Stancer getting off the ultimate. They are happy to drop False Promise onto Lil if that means they get the global silence off. So really full commitment on that one.
This Storm's got Yules queued up as well, which is interesting. Like
Oh, it's from the lucky shot.
Yeah, like it's for lucky shot. It's decent in static Storm as well. It helps you take chains off.
Unstable okay, concoction is easy to dodge as well.
My feeling is that if he builds like tanky, I don't think they kill him off even if he doesn't have a purge. Or if he goes like Bloodstone into BKB, for example. I don't know how they deal with him. I feel like you're going to need a BKB at some point in this game anyway. So is the Yules... I don't know.
NaVi positioned in a great place to pop this one, but he's immediately on top of them. Kuman finds it and manages to get outside off the static storm as well. Snako, he's going to have the glimpse. Going to have to throw it out one day. Well, actually decides not to as Kuman finds the kill. Lizzie brought down and Snako going to fall as well. Again, NaVi in a great position there to pop the smoke, but unfortunately they just didn't have any way to follow up on that. And Kuman is just allowed to do whatever he wants. The moment he walks out of that static storm, the fight is over because Kuman is just freed. He's unchained and ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether they just go into the Roche pit here now on Winstrike as well. Like, do they really want to force it before this Radiance comes out, or are they just going to play it safe here and take the Aegis? Because obviously Storm, one of the best heroes at carrying that. Just balling out of control and then just coming back with full mana again is always scary.
With a Drow as well, you know, it's very easy to take Roshan, but they're going to look for Blizzy here. Blizzy just swashbuckled down to the low ground.
One of the other things we haven't talked about is the proccing of the marksmanship, destroying the Enigma's Helm of Dom creep in one go is always a possibility here. Zayas has to be careful with how he uses it, otherwise it's pretty much wasted gold on his hero.
Which int have we got? 14 stolen intelligence right now on Lil. Keeping up with the interminute. Good job.
I mean, he almost has an ATOS as well. Like, he's going so stat heavy.
Oh, Kuman rolling in the middle lane, trying to go on to Blizzy here. Blizzy trying to get the ultimate off with the global silence as well, just to make sure he certainly finds that kill. Now Kuman can run himself away. No black hole for you, Zayats.
Yeah, did you see he used it as well?
He did.
Before
he gets on cooldown, yeah.
Like, that's... I'm pretty sure Lil didn't mean to do it as quickly as that. I think it was more just to secure the Storm's retreat, but...
What are you saying?
I mean, he manages to force the black hole usage, which is massive. Okay, Radiance is up. This is NaVi's way back into the game.
What time are we on? 14 minutes, 40 seconds for this Radiance. That's pretty slow. Yeah, average Radiance for this patch is 13 minutes and 20 seconds. So about a minute and a half behind average. And they've already finished off Roshan. They didn't get in time despite having this Radiance finish and wanting to fight. And now Magical stunned up on the front lines. They need to get themselves away. Web the Spirit. He's got a Remnant to jump to, but it's in the pit. Oh, that's not where you want a Remnant to be, but he grabbed up the other side. Grab yourself a Bounty Rune. He's also being healed up by the Purifying Flame. So
here comes Oracle, though.
Oh, hi, Oracle. This should be a kill, though, through Crystallize, right? Yeah.
Okay, well... That was interesting.
Yeah. Crystallize is having a great time right now, running through the trees. I think his days are numbered. He's got Remnants up in 7 seconds. Lil is chasing in the trees. They do see him, and he's got that Atos on Lil.
Damaged,
smashing through him right now. It's going to buy him not nearly enough time to survive this one. Lil will claim Crystallize's life. Meanwhile, NaVi just trying to find Silent here or something, anything, whilst they're all distracted by Crystallize, but there's nothing really to be gained. Kuman farming up in the top lane. Magical's going to come in. He's got a stun ready to roll. Kuman will be able to dodge it pretty... Oh, okay, doesn't dodge it. He doesn't have enough mana to dodge it.
Drow Ranger bot lane as well.
He's get himself out. Drow? Yep. All TPing out.
They dropped the static storm onto her as well, but it was a bit of a botched gank.
Magical, though, he's still casing Kuman here. He's going to have another stun. He's kind of low on mana, Kuman. He's probably going to pop the Aegis here, I would imagine.
Magical just has to get out now, though. I mean, he has no ult. This is a little bit scary. The Ember and the Pango are coming in, but...
They're trying to bait this one, though, yeah. Kuman, he's sensible, though. Pango's just pumping that ultimate, ready to go. If they saw him jump in onto Magical, just immediately rolling Thunder, trying to keep him stun locked in time for his Crystallize to get in the chains. That could have been a kill, but unfortunately... Kuman, he's got a big brain. He's not too ahead of himself right now, but now he comes into the middle lane onto Zayats, and the Enigma will be an easy kill for Kuman. Now up onto the next one, looking for Snako. Snako gets a glimpse off, and well, the Yule's actually used onto him to try and keep Snako still a little bit longer in order for the Storm to close the gap. Once again, he's got this haste rune trying to look for him. It's a bit of a tricky kill to find. Team right behind him as well, but there's the overpower coming in, and Kuman turns godlike with that one. A nice purge off on Thunderstrike as well.
I mean, this is the thing, though. Like, if he has this Bloodstone or working towards it now, I guess, then he is going to be very tanky, especially with the health talent up now. NaVi did a really good job of taking that Aegis off him to stop any kind of snowball coming out from Winstrike, and they just need to keep this Ember and Alk farming now. Like, I think you just have to accept that the Pango and the Enigma aren't going to have great times in terms of farm. You just need to make sure that your win conditions have a decent time at least. You know, getting something off the map. Because Winstrike are closing it out very quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, the net worth advantage isn't huge yet. Magical did manage to come back into this game with the Yasha and the Radiant. He's not too... well, he's in front of everybody, but his team isn't too far behind. But as you say, the heroes just make all the difference. And with this Drow strat, the Storm Spirit is so scary. He can just kill anybody he wants, it feels like.
Yeah, Leo's basically turning into a 4th core as well. Like, he's ahead of the Beastmaster in net worth. Took the 25 attack speed talent at level 10, and he's just slapping fools around at the moment.
Absolutely.
This guy is massive.
He is chunky.
He also didn't take a second point in global at level 12 as well, so although the extra silence duration is nice, that's not really what he's using it for. He's kind of just using it to like cancel black holes, just jump just for the initial silence rather than the sustained duration of it.
I'm still surprised though. I mean, I guess the increased mana cost is a little bit scary, but he's got the A-turn, so he shouldn't really care as he jumped forward down to the bottom lane's Disruptor, caught out of position. Well, I mean, he was under his tier 2. It wasn't out of position. Kuman just being rude here.
Oh, they get the Helm of Dom creep as well. Oh, Beastmaster takes over something else. Sorry, not Beastmaster, Enigma.
Radiant's top tower is under
Crystallize running up to top, but the split push potential is very poor from this Na'Vi lineup. It's something we mentioned earlier on, and continue to do so as their tower taking... Like, who's supposed to set up here and force Winstrike back? Who's supposed to threaten this tower and, you know, make Winstrike feel threatened about their buildings? Nobody can do that.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Like, they have no objective taking hero. Like, Alk, Ember are their 2 cores. They don't take buildings. It's not like this, like the TA and the Sven that we've been seeing with this high physical damage that can rip through objectives. Harvey just feels like they're not able to when they're not able to play from in front with this disruptor, like we've talked about in the past. It looks great when you're in front, and they have been for most of the games so far, these qualifiers. When you're playing from behind, Seneca's been such a big part of them so far that he feels like he's not in the game at all here.
Yeah. Well, the time continues to tick on, which does favour Na'Vi. But they're going to need to find themselves a fight one day. Zayat's going for the Crimson Guard, actually. So it seems to have stopped making the Greaves as I thought he might, and just go straight in for the Crimson.
I don't even know if this game going late favours Na'Vi that much, to be honest. Like, I feel like the Storm's going to be the biggest hero here.
Storm and Drow still pretty worrisome.
And guess what? Arcane Root.
Nice.
Like, at some point, he's going to get level 25 on this Storm, if it goes late. And I don't know if you've played against a level 25 Storm before, Nomad. It's not a lot of fun.
Yeah, these Remnants, they cause hell for you. Look at this, they're charging up the route, jumping forwards onto the Ember Spirit. Now the Electric Vortex comboed up with the Fortune's End. What a little play coming out from Winstrike, and that'll find them the kill onto Crystallize.
Yeah, it's like the Spirit Breaker's charge, but evolved a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that was really good. Really good. Well, 20 minutes in, and still Kuman just hunting anybody that dares come out of the Na'Vi base. They're now stuck on this high ground. Magical, despite being the highest net worth hero, still can't seem to really do anything in this game. He's now got himself this Manta style in order to break off some of these stuns, some of these annoying status effects they can put onto them. But it's not really enough to make Magical any kind of threat right now. Meanwhile, Kuman is exact opposite. He is the apex predator in this game. Going to be a smoke out from Na'Vi. I mean, they have the black hole, but the black hole is just such a non-factor in this game. They've got so many silences, so many cancels, so many routes. Even if you get to BKB, there's still 2 which can get rid of it. And now they jump forwards onto Oracle here, but he gets the ultimate off on himself and goes for the TP, and there's no one sticking around to cancel it. Seneca's trying to come back in, but doesn't find the space for the glimpse there.
Non-Grata as well on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he came from, but he's now being beaten down. Magical will find himself 1. They'll get something for this. And more importantly, they get themselves some space.
Yeah, Blizzy missed the roll on the Oracle, unfortunately, to stop it, so they couldn't kill him off straight away. I think he saw the Storm and tried to go for a +1, but the Storm just zipped away and was fine. Who picks up a regen rune now as well? It's very nice. So, I thought he would go Bloodstone BKB. The Storm's just managed to shove in a Yules in the middle of his item build. Before he picks up those two.
He's got all these little +1 items. Kaya hanging out there as well. Just over here now. Non-suspect. And now it's got to be a smoke. Winstrike. Not happy that Navi smoked on them and now going to do the exact same thing as Storm. Ooh, thought he might up just straight up onto the high ground there, but
yeah, they know Rolling Thunder's down for a little. They know Rolling Thunder's down for a little bit longer, so it's just coming off cooldown now. He actually just picks up the. This Alchemist is getting pretty farmed now. Like he's got the blink, he's got the plate mail on top of his Radiance Manta, so
yeah,
getting to be a little bit of a problem. And they don't have a vessel. Oh no, Beastmaster has a vessel. Okay.
They're going forwards here. They've got the Enigma. The Global Silence comes out. Magical jumping in, though, trying to blow up the Oracle as quickly as possible. Silent just trying to fire off a couple of arrows here, trying to find the real Alchemist. And they certainly do. Now the Roar comes out. He's not lasting 2 seconds. Magical completely gets his salami sliced, and now Blizzy trying to roll himself past, but he's just getting annihilated. They're just playing around this fight, doing whatever they want. Crystallize trying to make it up to the high ground. Kuman chasing, but it's out of mana, and that is the only mercy that they will spare Na'Vi. The two heroes scuttle back to the base as Winstrike take to the high ground right now. They are very, very far ahead. Crystallize get followed by that route, but who really cares? Onto the high ground now, Winstrike, and they are taking this tier 3 tower. Looks like
they basically have 2 Drow Rangers. There's a Drow and there's a Silence as well. Like this guy's hitting so hard.
And don't forget the Inner Beast Aura as well, level 4, helping everybody out. Everyone's hitting so hard and so fast. It's pretty terrifying.
Kuman's getting close to that BKB as well, and like I said before, when he hits that point, what are Na'Vi going to do? Like, he can jump on whoever he wants when he activates that BKB, and they are going to be in trouble. Like, even Magical on this Alchemist might just die to this Storm.
Use a scary spirit.
And he hits the level 20 as well, so has the extra lockdown.
Oh, strange he didn't go for the attack speed. Strange. Thought more than 0.5.
Yeah, 30 attack speed doesn't look so good when the Drow's giving you 121.
No. Drow actually picks up a BKB of her own, so she just went Manta, Dragonlance, straight into the BKB.
And these lanes are constantly being shoved out by Winstrike as well, just because of this precision aura. Like you mentioned before, Na'Vi don't have a huge amount of wave clear. Well, neither do Empire, but sorry, Winstrike. But these, Na'Vi constantly having to send people to deal with these lanes. Like you see bot lane at the moment.
I'll take that.
Magical's going to have to go for that one.
Running forwards here. Na'Vi really want to try and force something, but Winstrike just back themselves away. They don't want to let Na'Vi take a fight on their terms. Alright, well, Maelstrom is going to be finished off on Crystallize now. It's a little bit of extra damage, something they can maybe use to bring down some heroes, but...
I'm not sure about that. Is it really going to make that much of a difference?
Yeah. I mean, they're really squishy on the side of Winstrike, so any kind of extra damage they can find is going to feel significant to them.
Oh, you didn't mean Crystallis, did you? You meant Maelstrom.
Maelstrom, okay. Yeah. Sorry, Crystallize.
I got really confused because I saw the Mithril Hammer. I was like, has he gone like Mithril Hammer Crystallis? That sounds like some interesting build.
My bad, my bad. Getting a bit tense now.
I mean, there's some games where... Sorry, I was going to say, some games, like when you pick Ember, you can just dance around the fights, right, with like Maelstrom Sleight of Fist. This is not one of those games. Like, if anybody... You're trying to dance on Ember, this Storm's just dancing, alongside you. He doesn't care where you go.
And now this 10 seconds BKB is up, and I would imagine they're going to be looking for some action on the side of Winstrike right now. Very surprised if they don't try and take some engagements right now. Roshan's going to be the call. Magical. Coming over. Might place down an acid or two. Imagine he'll know what's going on here from the damage he's doing.
Thanks for the assist spray, the Roshan.
There you go. They're jetting it down quickly. The Roshan goes down though, and it's going to be picked up by Kuman. So ineffectual from NaVi, and now the Roar comes out, keeping Enigma locked down in place. They get that kill, and now they look towards Silent as well, who's just fighting up with Blizzy. Blizzy onto the high ground he goes, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Crystallize trying to get himself away. He's going to get rooted up here. And another Remnant comes through. That's plenty of space for him. Meanwhile, Magical just TP'd down to the bottom lane. He managed to get himself out of that engagement and just get himself out of the fight entirely before anybody was trying to manage to catch him out and focus him down. So they only lose their 2, 3, and 4 position heroes on NaVi, but still they won't have them for another 20 seconds. A huge opportunity for Winstrike to come in and do some damage to this base with this Aegis they picked up. Absolutely not punished for that whatsoever.
Yeah, they just got to the Roach Pit slightly too late, and this Crimson pickup on the Enigma is keeping people alive a little bit longer than before, but unfortunately the Oracle can always just purge it off with the Fortune's End.
Magical though going in, he wants to try and kill the Drow here, but Drow, she's going to get ulted up by No Fear, and now Kuman jumping in on top of the Disruptor. Disruptor is not going to last very long as Lil's actually got a BKB of his own, and he's just powering through people. No Grata has fallen. They managed to get 1 kill, but look at Lil just standing in the middle of this fight. Storm dropping low. He's going to lose his Aegis here. Magical has to back himself away though. The power of Lil is coming through. He's finally going to die, and that's going to give a fair amount of gold to Crystallize, but they have repelled the advance for now. No huge pickoffs being had by NaVi. I say that. Magical, he's still charging it. He's looking to go. Silent saying too long here. Swashbuckle to follow it up as well. No Fear going to save him from a bit of magic damage for the physical. They need to connect it, but Kuman's actually coming in for the counter engagement. Crystallize joining in with this one as well, but it's going to go down, trying to make his way to the tree for Swashbuckle. No! He's going to die. Crystallize with the double kill, though, onto Silent and No Fear. Kuman has to TP himself out. Magical can't find the stun. Ooh, NaVi. They managed to fight back, and they fight back hard. Kuman the only one remaining, and he even lost his Aegis as well, so if you can make them bleed, you can make them die. NaVi standing a chance in this matchup after all. Goodness.
Yeah, that was really well held by NaVi. Zayat's pulled a lot of attention to himself. He's really tanky with this Crimson and Ghost Scepter. Like, the Storm used pretty much all of his mana trying to kill off this Enigma, who wasn't really doing too much. And in the backlines in the meantime, you know, Crystallize and Magical were just doing huge amounts of damage. It's well played by NaVi, well held, because they took the Aegis and they didn't even lose any buildings for it. Well, they lost a tier 3 tower, but I think they're going to be happy with that trade.
And Alchemist now actually finishes off a Aghanim Scepter. Who's he going to give this to? I mean,
you give it to Seneko, I think, right? On the Disruptor.
Disruptor, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, if you can get this onto the Storm before he gets his BKB.
The Storm could actually get jumped. Now, this actually gives them some real potential for killing Storm, because previously, they did not have any. Like, anything they throw on him, minus like a Blink Black Hole, but even then, like, the Global Silence just cancels that out, but you can't Global Silence a static Storm once it's already down.
I mean, the problem with this Aegis Disruptor is, like, well, it's one of the best in the game, like, mid to late game, right? Like, normally, sometimes BKBs are really difficult to play against, but when you have this Ags, it's amazing, but you're not normally able to farm it until you get that GPM talent, which you rarely ever get to on Disruptor anyway.
It's like 20, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean it's 180 when you get there, which is nice, but getting to level 20 on Disruptor is so hard.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this out-giving you one makes Snaker's game a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, this is his core. This is his #1 hero. This is his comfort pick, his niche. He always plays this Disruptor. I'm pretty sure he's had the most competitive games as a Disruptor out of anybody. I wouldn't be surprised. So it's
the problem is he's playing against one hero that can just jump him all the time. That's the Storm. So this game very much feels like, after this Ags purchase for him, Storm versus Disruptor. Like, who's going to get who first?
A battle of the ages, a battle of the lightning is what it comes down to here in Winstrike versus NaVi Game 1. Very interesting matchup indeed. NaVi still holding on against all odds versus the Kuman Storm Spirit. And now they have a little ace in the hole here, if they can get away with it.
He has an Orchid as well, so if Seneko ever gets jumped by the Storm with the Orchid on him, he's dead. Like, you're not going to be able to drop that static at all. So this is going to be really difficult for Seneko. You know, you probably want to be holding smokes for positioning in team fights as well. Just to make sure the Storm can't find you.
He's ready to roll. And if this fight breaks out, he's going to have that going for him. Meanwhile, Sansa picks himself up a Hyperstone. Lil's just been farming like a beast this game. Currently above the Beastmaster, quite substantially.
He has the GPM talent as well on the side, so he is, yeah, quite literally a 4th core now. Is he going like AC, or what's he going to build?
Moonshard.
I mean, can he build Ags at some point as well? Like the pure damage would be
Yeah, Ags is insane.
like through BKBs and stuff. I mean.
NaVi still holding this high ground for the time being, but they are scared. They are very scared. Even though they took the last fight, it did cost them a lot. What are our buybacks looking like? Storm, sorry, Storm does not have it. Magical has it, and Ember Spirit has it. So also the NaVi here is holding on to this buyback. Does make sense. It's much more valuable for them. Although Crystallize might buy out for the BKB. We'll see.
Oh, they see Magical.
Oh, actually going on to him now. Alchemist, he's going to have the Manta Trap, buy himself a bit of space here, charging on the stun, but Kuman, he's doing too much damage. The Global Silence comes out as well, so there is no response. The Rolling Thunder, it's just a little bit too late. Now it's going to be a kill onto Magical. Now, he did have that buyback. Would he be forced to use it? I think he will be.
This is massive for Winstrike if they can force.
They killed him inside his Chemical Rage. He's got 25 seconds, 35 seconds until the Chemical Rage, but they've actually managed to catch out Kuman here. They've got a Static Storm on Tim's side, closing the gap, but there's no follow-up damage. There's nobody here. He's keeping him inside of Seneko, nearly doing it alone, but the False Morris comes through to save up the Storm, help him burn himself away, and there is not going to be a kill onto the Storm Spirit today, despite the perfect use of the ultimate there from Seneko, as Lil comes in, frontlining against everybody here. It's Lil versus the world, as it's been many times before. Nearly kills off the Disruptor, doesn't quite manage it, and TPs himself away. Seneko will just about claw back to base here. Wow, I mean, that was a bit of a flex.
This is massive for Winstrike though, just because they forced out the 2 buybacks. Like if they kill the Alk again now, the game's over.
Yeah.
They don't really do anything on NaVi without having their big Alk up. And the problem is Magical really wants to be able to get out of his base and farm on the map, but you're playing against a Beastmaster with Hawks. Like he will find you. And that's exactly what happened before in the top lane. Or in the jungle.
Okay, it's been slow. The pressure has been ramping up and up and up for NaVi, and now they're going on to Seneko as well as Disruptor with his Agonist ultimate will not be available if they try to go for the high ground now. 35 seconds. They're looking for Bangalore as well. He does not have buyback. He just used it in the last engagement. He tries to get the Rolling Thunder away, but the right click damage is in, and now the roar out onto Crystallize as well. He does have a buyback to use possibly, but Crystallize just trying to limp himself out of this fight. He's got the Spirit Vessel onto him. It's just hacking him down to get the silence out onto the Ember Spirit, but it looks like he's going to make it to the base. Meanwhile, Nongrata taking some hits on the front lines here, trying to finish off Nongrata. He manages to blink himself out thanks to that false promise though, and now Atos onto the Alchemist. He's just going to hold the high ground for now, and it looks like NaVi backed themselves away, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be back very, very soon.
Yeah, I think Winstrike just have to wait for the Roche pit here now. Like this third Roche is about... Is it third or second? Second Roche. It might be second actually. I can't quite remember. And you get that Aegis on the Storm again, and he just dives into the enemy base. 4 bounty runes again for Winstrike 2.
Yep. That money. Saving up and up and up.
And it's a pretty quick Roche spawn as well. I think it's about a minute long. With the Hawk inside the pit, they're going to be able to see this.
Yep, keeping this Hawk positioned where it can always see there. The Hummingbird Hawk fluttering away. Such grace, such beauty. Wow.
You should make like motivational quotes on like posters and things,
do
and
like
videos.
Dota 2 David Attenborough. Oh my god. Sansa is destroying people with his precision aura on the Hyperstone. He's gonna get the attack range at level 20 as well, which he's not too far away from. Kind of hilarious. Oh, pings out Blizzy. They found him. He was just trying to get a sentry ward down, and his life is going to be cut very short. 50 seconds, no Pangolin. Kuman immediately looking for more, but he used a lot of his mana to jump in here. But 26 charges on this Bloodstone. It's not going to be long before he gets that mana back and it's ready to roll once more.
55 mana regen, casually. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. How do they save their buildings here on NaVi without the Pango? He's almost up.
It's been
20
getting
seconds.
harder and harder from minute 0. There hasn't been a single moment where we've kind of felt like NaVi are looking ahead. Coming back, possibly, but turning it around, they haven't been able to do that. Drow, she's actually going to see with the Hawk here, and Nongrata jumps in with the roar. What's a roar coming out from Nongrata? That's going to be magical dead. 105 seconds, and that's just your GG. Straight out. There is no fighting without the Alchemist. The game is over. There is no fight for NaVi once that man is dead. And the Ancient will explode. Winstrike take game number 1. NaVi, it looked so clean until now. It looked so straightforward for them until now. But now Winstrike proved to be this final wall, and it's going to be a little bit harder to climb over than perhaps I would have liked.
Yeah, fantastic roll from the Beastmaster at the end. All set up because he managed to get a nice hawk in the trees on the side.
Yeah.
Just to get vision of the Alchemist. And,
19-0 on this Storm Spirit. Absolute madman coming through. Kuman went to town and he just absolutely obliterated NaVi.
Yeah, I mean, that laning stage, Magical dying twice right at the start has really hurt, NaVi's game potential here. And it wasn't like it was a gank from anyone. Kuman just straight up outplayed him. So
yeah,
I feel like coming into this next game, and NaVi are going to be kicking themselves a little bit. Obviously, they were never really in front, and unfortunately, if you're playing from behind with the outcall game, it's very difficult to come back. Magical is going to be very, very disappointed, but he's going to be coming back with a vengeance. I'm sure he'll want revenge.
Absolutely, yeah. NaVi, not a team to stay down when they have been hit. They will get back up and they will take the fight to Winstrike for an exciting game too. I'm certain of it. Man, my chair's getting really, really sweaty. Maybe I should get myself a DX Racer, because those chairs never get sweaty. They're designed for gamers, of course. They're sponsors of the Star Ladder tournament, so head over to the DX Racer website and get yourself a chair now. We're going to be heading over to a break, and then we'll be back with Winstrike versus NaVi, game number 2 here in the Grand Finals. Winner of this series is going to go to Kiev. They're going to make it to the minor. The loser will not have a shot at this DPC season. So that's just the bottom line for them. Oh, we'll be back very soon with the next game. See you in a bit.